Hey guys, this is my impression of the Sony Press Conference at E3 2012. So, the first thing that I want to say is that they had an extremely long opening. And don't get me wrong, the opening was really cool. It basically showcased a bunch of games that they made in the past and games that are about to come out. But, man, it was like 6 minutes long, and I was just sitting there watching it like, man, this is cool. And then I was like, come on, like, where's the game? So, yeah, pretty much that took a long time. And then they started off, after pretty much explaining, you know, Sony's the best, Sony blah blah blah, PlayStation 3 is awesome, etc. He brings out the people that made Heavy Rain, and they basically explain that they're making this new game called Beyond Two Souls. That's not all one word. The game's called Beyond, and then semicolon, Two Souls. It looks extremely well. I mean, I'm not sure if they played a trailer or gameplay footage of the the demo. It might have been, just a trailer, but it was. I assure you, it was most likely using in-game footage, like in-game graphics and stuff like that, because the face animations are just like so well done. Now the main character is played by Ellen Page. Some people might know her from Juno, some might know her from Inception. She's basically that person, and they just did her face so well with the facial animations that you can clearly tell it's her. I mean, this is the kind of game that I'm looking totally forward to, because it just showcases like the kind of technology that video game developers have now. It's making video games like so much more cinematic that they actually have to use actresses now to get, it's just that kind of thing intrigues me, and I wonder where they're going to go with that in the future. But yeah, so basically the premise of this game is it stars a girl who has contact with the other side, whether it be like a spirit or a ghost or whatever. She has psychic abilities or something's watching over her, and she pretty much can do whatever she wants, and the trailer makes it seem like she's being hunted. So that's not good. But other than that, this game looks absolutely amazing. After that, they showed off some PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale gameplay. They did a lot of stuff on the Vita, to be surprising. I mean, they did like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which is a totally long name. I'm just going to call it PASBR, because that's PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and all the first letters, PASBR. So PASBR, basically, PlayStation 3 and Vita are both cross-compatible, so you can play it both online and offline, and you can, sync up your accounts and what have you, do all that stuff. They also confirmed 2 new characters for that game, which they introduced them completely epically, and Sony totally just blows my mind every E3, because they're just like, I don't know, the way they do things is just so awesome. But they introduced Nathan Drake and a Big Daddy from BioShock into their character roster, so that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, they did a lot of stuff with Vita, like Little Big Planet 2 has cross controllers, or you can use the PlayStation Vita as a controller. PlayStation Plus also gave 12 blockbuster titles for free starting the day after the press conference to PlayStation Plus members. So basically people that sign up for PlayStation Plus right now would get the benefits of like 12 free games, and that's including like Saints Row 2 and anything after that. They also, everyone at E3, the people that went to E3, got 1 year free PlayStation Plus, which I was totally jealous about. They also announced PS1 Classics on Vita to be downloaded. And already the roster for Vita is bigger than 3DS, but man, once the PS1 games go on Vita, it's just gonna be like everyone might convert from 3DS to Vita. I have no idea. The Nintendo Press Conference is tomorrow, and I'll have another video on that. And then they showed Black Ops Declassified for Vita. They didn't actually show any gameplay for it. They just said Black Ops Declassified is basically going to be, you know, kind of a Black Ops 2 thing, but for Vita, if that makes any sense. And then after that, they showed another segment of Assassin's Creed 3 that's going to be specific for Vita. They basically want to showcase all of their relationships between game companies and developers and basically say, yeah, we got these suckers to make games for us that you can't have. So like Black Ops Declassified, and then they announced Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation for Vita. It's during the Louisiana Revolution, and it stars the very first female character for the entire series on Vita. And then they showed off some Assassin's Creed 3 boat gameplay. They basically were like, yeah, it wasn't just fought on land, it was also fought at sea. And then he's on a boat, motherfucker, don't you ever forget. And, you know, he's just killing a bunch of Brit ships and having a good old time. And then Far Cry 3 comes out, and they say, I didn't really get what they meant by this, but they say, I don't know if it's like specifically for Sony or PlayStation, but they say they're like we want to introduce something very special for Sony, blah blah blah. We didn't just create one game, we created 2 different games, and one of them is 4-player co-op. So there's that. And then they introduced Wonderbook. Now what Wonderbook is it uses the Sony PlayStation Eye tool, and it uses that as a sort of camera. That would make sense. A camera that looks at this book, and then this storybook like comes to life, and you know, a bunch of crap like that. And they introduced Book of Spells, which is the first sort of title that they have. The Book of Spells is written by J.K. Rowling herself, and it basically has to do with Hogwarts and, you know, casting spells and how to cast them, and etc. Then, a lot of people waiting for this, they showed off God of War Ascension demo. And that demo was just epic as hell. I mean, it was completely fast-paced. At some points, I think Kratos was using both Blades of Chaos on 2 different enemies at once. Like he was dual wielding in a way where he was attacking one enemy with his left and then attacking a completely different enemy with his right, which I don't think has happened in any other God of War game. And then they gave a release date for that. It's going to be March 12th, 2013. And then, finally, just something that I was completely looking forward to, they showed The Last of Us gameplay. Now, The Last of Us gameplay was amazing. Anything short of amazing would be an understatement. And even amazing itself is an understatement because it looks so great. The gameplay looks very fluid. I can see a lot of different gameplay mechanics. There's one part in the actual gameplay trailer itself, or demo, where the little girl that the main character is with is hiding in a corner, and the main character's out of ammo, and he's like, shit. And this other guy's like, and the guy that they're, you know, were shooting at was like, I got you now, and he's approaching the main character. And when he's like right there, the little girl says, hey asshole, and throws a brick at his face, giving you the opportunity to go punch him in the face. At that moment, everybody in the E3 audience just cheered. They were like, yeah. So I can see that a lot of people are looking forward to this game. It's going to be definitely one of those games that people weren't expecting, and it's going to definitely be one of those blockbuster hits. So that was pretty much it for the entire Sony press conference.